And we're back. Hope you all had a quick moment to stretch and recharge.
I don't know about you, Essen, but I spend my time practicing calligraphy. And it turns out it's not as easy as I thought it would be.
I spent it rehearsing this bit, not taking any chances today. I'm really excited for for the next section.
Me too. Shall we get into it?
Let's do this. What happens when design, film, and cultural insight come together? You get a new kind of storytelling. One that doesn't just define how we see the world. Slight slip up from my end. One that doesn't just reflect the world we live in, but redefines how we see it.
Our next speaker has been working at the intersection where creativity meets media, where behavior meets strategy, and she's here to unpack how stories are shaped with culture, how they shift with technology, and why understanding that is crucial for anyone creating in today's fast-moving world.
This is a conversation that sits right at the heart of our theme: Control, Alt, Connect. We're pressing Control to reflect on the roots of our culture, Alt to explore how design, film, and technology are reshaping narratives, and Connect to see how it all comes together in storytelling. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the incredible Sara Mukim.
Does this work? It does. Thank you so much, guys, for waiting, and thank you for a nice introduction. I'm going to get used to the mic. I think it's too loud. Do you want to make it a bit? Okay, very cool. So now you already know, my name is Sara. You can call me Sara Mo, which is short for Mukim. So my given name is Sara, but my family name is Mukim, and that ends up being a little too complicated for people. And nobody was ever able to spell it right, so I made it short, which is Sara Mo, and people often ask me what Mo is for. Can I shift back to this? Can I be on this? Can I take this off? Okay. Okay, I think we're fine now. So Mo is for money, Mo can be for moxie, you can invent anything with Mo. And this is just how I go by, and what I do in my day-to-day life is that I head the content team at Symmetry, which I'm very proud to do. Symmetry is a group that got listed on the stock exchange a year and a half ago. It's the only agency in Pakistan to be listed on the stock exchange. And Symmetry Digital is one vertical and one part of the group. If you guys have not seen our website, that is the URL. Once I'm done boring you, maybe that's one of the things that you can do. You can visit the website and check out how cool it is. The other reason why I put the URL here is perhaps is the only agency website that has been fully generated using AI. So from writing to setting it up, putting it up. So it's a fun experience. Do check it out. So that's what I do 5 days a week. But more importantly, who am I really? So I'm a full-time mother to my dog. You are going to see a little bit of the dog as we go ahead. I'm an avid, voracious reader, an avid watcher of movies. I love to cook, I love to clean, I love to bake, I love flowers, I love walking, travel, etc. So there's a lot of detail of my life right here. I'm a lover of books and movies and music and memes and dogs and some people and travel and flowers and coffee. And did I say travel? Why is this so important for me to share with you? Basically, I'm a lover of life. While we are here to talk about AI, I think it's very important to have perspective and live life, live a big life. And not only am I a lover of life, I am also a lover of Do I have your attention, people at the back? So I said, I'm a lover of life, and quite recently, just being honest, I like him. And I think most of the ladies in the house do too. So everything that I've told you thus far, this has got nothing to do with AI. Even if you know, somebody 40 years ago, 30 years ago, as recently as 20 or 10 years ago, could have had the same sort of persuasions or things they like doing. But these things are important, and regardless of technology, thank you. Regardless of technology, some things about life don't change. None of these things about living a big life, a full life, have anything to do with tech or technology or AI per se. And not yet anyway. Nobody knows what's going to happen. It's so interesting at the agency. No problem. It's cool. Not yet anyway. Every day when we work on, let's just say, tools like Runway or tools like Sora, what is possible one week differs from what will be available to us or in the next generation or next version of the same the next week. Everything is evolving at an exponential rate, and it's very hard to keep track of it as a human. The importance of living a full life and a fulfilling one cannot be undermined. That's where the stories come from. And if there's anything this business or most businesses are about, they're about stories. And stories are very, very important. Basically, everything I've told you thus far distills down to this one thing, which is that I'm a connoisseur of stories. What do I mean by that? I collect them, I cherish them, I listen to them, I go after them, I chase them, I tell them for a living. And they always, always inform my work. If I didn't have stories or any of the experiences or persuasions or those million things on a slide where I told you what I like to do with my life, there will be no stories if I just went to work 9 to 5, sat behind a desk, did what was expected of me, came home, and went back and did the same things again the next day. There will be no story to tell. Stories come from experiences. They can be great. They cannot be great sometimes. I feel that as human beings, what we have is that we have a monopoly on emotions, on human emotions. Machine learning, there are some models of AI that are being trained to be sentient, but will they learn at the same rate where we are at as human beings today? Those generations and years and centuries of experiences that we have to various stimuli, I'm not so sure. And we talk about catching flights, not feelings, but let's talk about a few feelings today. There are some feelings that are never going to go out of fashion. It doesn't matter whether we are in 2025 or 3025, some feelings are not going to be ever irrelevant. What are these feelings? And to each their own. For example, and if I'm boring you guys can raise hands and I will go faster. Are we okay? Excellent. What are these feelings that will never go out of style? So that's a feeling. I didn't put a word to this because it's a feeling. The feeling of a newborn baby, or finding out that you're expecting a child, or just holding them for the first time. There are many parents in this room, at least in the front row. I mean, they will agree with me. Another feeling. What is this feeling? If any one of you were to talk about what this feeling is, or what feeling this picture represents, anybody? Calm, sure. Is this a specific time of the day? To me, it was morning, but to my dear friend Babar, it's afternoon, which is great because that's when he perhaps finds his calm and his peace. So it's a feeling. Mornings, no matter where you go around the world, I don't know how much of the world you guys have seen. I haven't seen enough, but I've seen much. Mornings are the way a morning smells. It's nearly the same around the world, regardless of the continent you're on. Right after sunrise, there is a specific morning smell which is unique to Earth, I feel. And it's almost like a feeling. Some of you, I feel, might not be rising up that early to know. This is another feeling which is very comforting for people. You know, the smell of their first cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning. You know, a lot of people, including myself, I cannot begin to talk before noon unless I have 2 cups of coffee in me. So this is a great feeling. Does AI have anything to do with it? I am not so sure, not yet. What feeling is this, guys? Anyone? Yeah. Didn't need a word, did it? Feeling, it did something to you. Rain. Sometimes it's disastrous if you live in Karachi, but generally, the idea of rain is very romantic. It's beautiful, and I think we've longed for rain, and when we get it, we almost regret praying for it. But it's a great feeling. We know on this planet there are countries and there are cities that are creating rain artificially, but really the feeling of rain is as real as it gets. That's a feeling of coming home to my dog, you know, free from AI or any human contamination. It's a very pure feeling. Those of us, like Shuja, for example, people who have a dog, who've had a dog, there is no human being on earth, even if it's your own child, who can welcome you home quite the same way a dog does. It's a great feeling. How many pet owners here? Okay, how many cat owners? And dog? Any other pets? Birds, fish, snakes? I don't know. I'm not judging, you know. Cool, so you kind of know the feeling. Cats don't react the same way, but cats are there for you when you need them, and that's pretty cool too. That's a cool feeling. It takes a human being to experience this. Asteen ka saab. I thought I would wake up, come and speak to you guys today about positive, warm, fuzzy things, but yes, Asteen ka saab, that's an unforgettable feeling. Stay away from those, unfriend them right away. It takes a human being to experience this. A machine can learn from our responses and our reaction, whether there is a feeling, for example, a feeling that makes your heart beat faster, or long for it if I'm not in the same country, if I'm traveling, this is the feeling that I'm chasing. You know, this is always welcome in moderate quantities. Cat owners would agree that, you know, their cat, ignoring them is just a good feeling too. So machines can learn from you. They can never feel it. That is something very unique to us as a human race. And we will continue to bank on the human experience to tell stories. In the beginning, when I was sweating and tying my hair, you guys might remember that this is where the stories come from. These are only a handful of feelings. Otherwise, we can talk about them all day long when you hear your favorite song, or when you go for a long drive, when you get on a plane, when your flight gets cancelled. Millions of feelings that we experience every single day. You know, in there are stories of love, fear, war, victory. You can have your own list. You know, of friendships, of heartbreak, of being inspired, of being somebody who's inspiring to someone else, of journeys and detours. I mean, we can talk about them endlessly, but I want you to remember that this is where the stories lie, and stories are very, very important. And now, without boring you, we'll talk about artificial intelligence's brush with advertising, and more importantly, advertising and its brush with AI. We're going to look at a bunch of things that I do, that we've done at the agency at Symmetry, and then we look at some of the very cool, inspiring examples of how AI is being used to tell stories, human stories, around the world. So some inspiring cases from the agency I'm proud to be a part of. The first one is Rocks by Symmetry. I think when we were doing a sound test, some of you guys got a glimpse. So Rocks has been a newcomer in the telco world. I don't know how many of you know about Rocks or are already on Rocks. The generation that I'm from, we were more jazz and Telenor types. I mean, you guys just might be the more Rocks and Onyx types, which are digital networks. They needed an innovative solution. So what did we do for them? Their challenge was to launch a brand successfully, drive lower funnel traction with focus on subscriptions. So how do we do that? How do we get people to sign up? So an AI-powered platform, somebody has a nice ringtone, very cool. Who are you? An AI-powered platform which produces relevant content but at a mammoth scale. Now, one of the things which is you will not find on slide, one of the things that AI allows us to do. I'll tell you a little bit about my story because I'm told that my story is what you might be interested in. I'm somebody who started in advertising over 15 years ago. Don't believe everything you read. They wrote 15, it's perhaps 17 or so. And I started my career in a very conventional way. So at a time, and no, this is not the black and white era, this is a recent past. When I started, we were still talking mainly about print ads, about billboards, and what is the TV spot or the TV ad that we're going to put on TV, and that is going to be the big piece of news. Most campaigns were generally about these three things, and then there was activations. That is what we were doing. The biggest and most glamorous thing to do in an ad agency, and we are going to come to this, don't worry. The most glamorous thing that you could do in an ad agency was shoot a commercial. It would be twice as glamorous if you shot it outside Pakistan, and it would be thrice as glamorous if you had a bunch of movie stars or cricketers in it, or musicians. That was about the end-all, be-all of advertising. People looked forward to these ads. We did not have very many channels. We had a handful. I'm not talking to you about PTV and STN days. This is much, much later when I started. But people would look forward and people would talk about the advertising that was on TV. That was the big, big news. Now, what has happened with social media and digital is that we need a plethora of content. It is, if I made one TV spot or one digital spot and put it on Facebook or YouTube, or even on TikTok for that matter, it's going to bore you. You will move on, you will scroll to the next thing. It's not relevant anymore to just be able to do that. Yes, there is a great deal of Pakistan that does watch TV, and those TV spots, some brands are brave enough to continue to make, and some filmmakers are very awesome at it. But having said that, there is a great demand and need to make content and to have like a plethora, volume of content, and it needs to be refreshed every day. Is it possible, humanly possible, to create that kind of content for a single brand that you work on? I'm not so sure. I want you to think about your doom scrolling habits. At night, all of us scroll endlessly, sometimes for half an hour, sometimes for hours, sometimes, and you don't even realize the amount of content you're consuming each day. Now think about the time when I told you I started, it was about a billboard, it was about some activation, it was a TV spot, and it was a print ad in some of the biggest daily newspapers of the country. That's all this was about. Now we're talking daily, hourly, weekly. This is not easy, which is how AI really helps us generate a lot of content. Now I'll tell you what we did for Rocks. Coming back to Rocks, new entrant in the market that already has big wigs. There's Jazz that has been around, Telenor has been around, Ufone has been around. You guys all remember their advertising perhaps. If you don't, your parents definitely do. Now Rocks, how do we disrupt? How do we tell people we have some value-added cool stuff at the right time? How do we intercept them? And how do we use one basic shoot with one rock star, and how do we multiply that into many, many messages that are given to people at the right time? So let's have a look. So we've transformed the platform. We took a single celebrity video and we multiplied that into hundreds of region-specific versions for various kinds of people who were looking for different things. If somebody was looking for food, or somebody was looking for music, or somebody was driving on the motorway, the messages kept changing. Let's have a look.
For all the gamers out there, Game On is where you need to be. So download Rocks now and enjoy this amazing platform. Rocks, real online experience, powered by Jazz.
So that was for gamers, and we were driving downloads for the app. However, and that's our base video, which we just shot in one small setup against a green screen, much like that one with one celebrity, and we did not take hours to shoot this. You know, it was less than a 30-minute job. Now, what did we do with content at scale? So for example, if you were in Islamabad on the expressway and you love music, what is the message that you are going to receive on your social media when you were doom scrolling and not driving?
Islamabad expressway traffic is insane right now. Why not stream cool music tracks on Rocks app while you wait? Find your music, download and subscribe to Rocks.
One video, customized message. And this will go ahead. If you were in Karachi and if you were at Newplex, chances are you love movies, this is the message you're gonna get.
Listen bro, got movie plans at Newplex? Make it a movie marathon with Rocks app. Get Tamasha subscription with Rocks app and watch unlimited movies in HD.
And if you're a foodie in Lahore,
can't decide where to dine at Alam? I got you bro. Download and subscribe to Rocks app and let the food come to you with free Panda Pro subscription. Cool, right? So download and subscribe to Rocks.
so now there's a big question, right? I've just shown you 3 examples. We can spend the entire day looking at the thousands of messages that we had that were customized. Does it work? These are some of the results. I mean, we made over 250 videos. There was over 10 times increase in subscription. Now, when you think about advertising, you cannot think about success in advertising without thinking about budgets. So think about the amount of money we may have spent half an hour with a rock star against a chroma, and what did we get in return? 10 times the subscription. So if you weigh those two together or look at both the things in comparison, it's not a bad result, guys. Now we look at some of our more recent work. Now HBL is a brand that is very, very close to my heart. I don't know how many HBL account holders or Connect users are in the audience today. Any? A lot. Fantastic. So they didn't raise their hands, but cool, I believe them. Nobody wants to have anything to do with banks. We know that for a fact. So HBL is a brand that keeps coming back into my life like a bad lover that you keep entertaining. So I worked on HBL as a creative director at JWT for 6 years. I did some of the best work of my life at that time because HBL had the means and the vision to tell the stories I also wanted to tell. And then much later in my life, it has very recently at my last agency, which was Adcom, HBL was a client, was a brand I was not working on, but we served as an agency at the time. And now in my current role at Symmetry, we lead all the digital content for HBL. Why am I telling you this? Because in my 15-year history of working on HBL, never has HBL once produced a film for Eid. For context, the reason why brands don't want to put in a lot of money for producing a film for Eid is because it's going to be relevant only for 6 days in 365 days. Right? We have 2 Eids, 3 days of Eid, you cannot run it beyond that. What did we do? So we came up with a solution which is purely made with generative AI. And this was the first time in HBL's known history to me that they actually had a film which they put on their socials. Would this have been possible 10 years ago? I don't think so. Did AI help us? For sure. And now I'll play the film for you. You can judge the film and we'll talk about limitations of AI as well.
ईद की खुशियों में आपके साथ HBL.
No real person, hyper realistic, from the voiceover to the music to the shots now. For perspective, I don't know how many filmmaking students. Any? Lots. Cool. So if you had to shoot this and go to locations like the Badshahi Mosque or get this much talent, this is easily a 3-4 day shoot, right? There's day, there's night, there's people, there's styling. There's camera work, there are sets, there's production design. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of time, and that's a lot of people. But for something that will just be run for 3 days, does it make business sense? No. So we ended up doing this. This was widely appreciated not only at the bank, but otherwise also. And this was the beginning of our AI journey with HBL, and I'm going to share something big with you that we did next that is currently live as well. Now, fan tunes. Does anybody know about fan tunes? PSL, anybody following? Air Vice Marshal, Lawrence ZAB, anybody? Nobody. This is a dead audience, guys. Anyone? Am I boring you? Show me with a show of hands. No cricket fans. No cricket fans? None. Football? What's your team? Real Madrid? Okay, cool. One guy. Anyone else? Nobody watches PSL? I'm taking valuable insights back. How old are you guys? Are you between the ages of 18 to 22? Anybody above 22 not in the first row? Okay, cool. Nobody watches PSL. You watch. Real Madrid guy watches it. A big round of applause for the Real Madrid guy. He has good taste. Okay, so fan tunes was an idea. HBL, typically, lately, they did not want to go on mega mediums. So mega mediums like we've established, like TV, outdoor, etc., they are expensive. They cost. Not only they cost to make, it's a huge cost to air them as well. If it wasn't for this idea, they weren't going to do anything. So this idea, the idea was generated by humans, and I'll talk about the idea a little bit, but everything else, the microsite, the videos, the promotional material, the music, the voiceovers, everything has been done using AI. So this is the first teaser film that we had done for fan tunes, and I'm going to take a moment. Okay, so this is the first teaser film that went live 3 weeks ago when PSL started, when there was no war. And I shall play it. That girl doesn't exist, guys, so don't look for her. And then we have our launch film. Another teaser. And our launch copy, which is this. So I know not many of you are PSL. Thank you for clapping. There's one woman on my side. This campaign is live, guys. One of the things I will request you to do in a couple of moments is to visit hblpslfantunes.com on your phones. But let me give you a little bit of a background of how this idea came to be. Every year, not you guys, but real cricket lovers who watch cricket, whenever there is PSL, there are PSL anthems. And whenever there's a PSL anthem, it polarizes the country. There are people who love it, but there are mostly people who don't like it, and there's heavy criticism. Whether this is PSL or an ICC tournament, whenever there is an anthem, there's a problem, right? It divides the people. Most people don't end up liking it. So what did we do? we gave power to the people. That if you are such a huge critic of the works of some of the rock stars in your country who've shot the videos and made the videos and written those songs, and guys, that is serious hard work and human man hours going into it, but we are ruthless with the art that people create, and that is completely fine. So what did we want people to do? We wanted them to create their own anthem using generative AI and share it on social media. And the anthem that is shared the most, or liked the most, or gets the most amount of traction, we incentivized it that anthem can walk home with 100,000 rupees. Now, when you go to hblpslfantunes.com, we made the website ourselves at Symmetry. There were multiple APIs, the interface, the design, and we did it in a matter of less than 7 days, and I have a feeling there is no other agency in Pakistan that can turn this around in 7 days, from not just these videos, but the website up and running. We started working on the 4th day of Eid, if there is one, but like right after Eid. And we were done just a day before PSL started and the website went live. There were many sleepless nights. There were many people. There was a tech team. There's a creative team. There's an art and design team, along with the very cool brand people at HBL who put their faith behind an idea like this. So do check out HBL PSL Fan Tunes. It's pretty cool. You can win some money now that the HBL dates have been extended. Nobody minds money. So check it out. And once we go ahead, inshallah, we will skip this part because I see some bored people in the audience. This is one of our tools for influencers. It's a lot of information. We had done something for Jazz. This was one of our earliest things that we did with AI, which was personalized Eid greetings. Great engagement, but let's talk about a bunch of more interesting things, inspiring stuff from around the world. And now, before you see it, I want you to remember the thing that we spoke about regarding stories and emotions and living life to the fullest, and why is that important in the context of AI. So let's talk about AI taking a break first.
How many people here have used ChatGPT or an AI?
AI, artificial intelligence, AI. US workers are now using generative AI.
Give the model time to think.
Micro changes in the prompt can get the model very different levels of accuracy performance.
Typing have a break before my prompt.
If AI is asked to take a break, the answers are actually much more accurate.
Prompt tuning is proving to be a game changer.
But if all brands to do that, chocolate bar.
GPT perform better, right, than ask it to have a break.
Average 80% more accurate just by literally typing have a break and then inserting your prompts. Apparently this applies to any sort of query. I really like
So human emotion, all of us need a break sometimes. You might need a break from this talk. It's going to be over soon. But using that context, along with AI, using it to complement AI and what you can do with it, and also tying it with a fact. Like if AI took a break, AI gave better results, that is really sitting on a gold mine. That little piece of an idea is pretty cool. And now, how many music lovers in the house? Great. So how can you enjoy music better using AI? It's a very human emotion to enjoy music. How do we tie AI with that?
Heineken is the most progressive beer in the world. Yet, in recent years, it starts to lose its coolest appeal among young Vietnamese drinkers. To make Heineken cool again, we have to start to make it look and feel sleek. But then again, sleek cans aren't exactly a new news. To break the perception, it would take more than just a packaging change. We need to reimagine what a sleek can do for them. So, how did we do it? Research says, beer tastes better with music. So, for the launch of the sleek Heineken can in Vietnam, we doubled down and created the biggest music collaboration in the brand's history. You might be thinking, wait, how many artists? That sounds expensive. We found a way. Welcome to Heineken Juke. Unlike the traditional can, no matter what angle you look at the sleek can, only 2 letters of the brand name are visible. This leads to 7 combinations of 2 letters, which can be found in over 583 renowned musician names around the world. So, in collaboration with Spotify, we developed a neat, immersive music experience. Using 3D AR technology, in combination of letter recognition algorithm, we converted our beer cans into personalized virtual jukeboxes. With every turn of the logo, people can unlock a different artist's name matching the 2 letters. And then, seamlessly add them to the unique playlist on Spotify. From the hippiest rap artists, to oldie but goodie rock and roll bands, and everything in between. The possible combinations inside the Heineken Juke were endless, attracting all audiences above 18. DJs, music producers, and influencers shared their banging playlists. And people went crazy in sharing their personalized playlists on social media. The buzz about the campaign reached national headlines, generating unheard levels of reach and engagements for the brand in just 2 months. And the results were music to our ears. So, does beer taste better with music? No, music tastes better with Heineken.
Reminiscing, a great human trait. We remember things. Now the thing with AI is it never forgets anything. It's a very human trait. Human beings forget, and then sometimes it's a joy to remember things, and while other times it can be painful. But AI is very different from the way human memories or human brain works. But how do we use this to complement some of the earlier things that we spoke about? We spoke about stories, and we spoke about emotions, and let's talk about reminiscing with AI.
Reminiscence therapy consists of patients with Alzheimer's revisiting and immersing in past experiences. It has been proven to slow down disease progression by strengthening cognitive reserve.
Reminiscence therapy is an important tool. It's hard to implement and maintain, so it's not used as often as it should be.
Introducing me. Hi, I am the world's first artificial intelligence biographer. I help people with Alzheimer's maintain their cognitive function by writing their life stories based on recollections from them and their loved ones. How do I do it? Well, I trained for it, literally. My neural network has been trained on over 400 biographies written by the greatest writers, but my most valuable source is the patient whom I interview. First, the patient and their loved ones tell me everything about them.
The music was wonderful, and everybody had a good time.
Riding in the car with you, what seems like it should have been hurried, you knew how to redeem it and make it meaningful.
It seems like just yesterday we were enjoying a nice hot cup of tea at Bishopstone with everybody gathered around.
This is such a special place for us. First time we came out here together, when we looked at each other, we knew this was a place we wanted to be.
Next, I process all this data, organizing and anchoring life moments into a chronological timeline. Then I start writing. Writing a biography isn't a fast process, and for those with Alzheimer's, time is a rare commodity, but I can do it quickly. And what makes me unique? I'm not your typical large language model. I don't scrape the internet for data. Instead, I curate a finite and highly personalized set of data from patients and loved ones. Guess I'm just built different.
The iGrapher has enormous potential to help thousands, if not millions, of patients with Alzheimer's. It is accessible and it is based on solid science.
We see the iGrapher as a game-changing addition to Alzheimer's treatment protocol.
In the end, I will give patients a game-changing treatment, but also the gift of a lasting memory of who they are, in their own words, that even Alzheimer's won't erase.
Now I'm just sharing work with you that I wish was mine, but it's pretty cool. I don't know how many people know about this disease or have seen it firsthand, but it is quite ambitious to think about writing a book or compiling a biography, but with the help of AI, it seems quite an achievable task. And now the feeling of coming home, how do we explore that with AI? What do we do? How do we tackle homelessness and use AI to solve this problem? People are walking off, you're killing my confidence. Okay, shall I play this, guys, with a show of hands if you're interested, and if you promise to stay tuned, let me know. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Purpose advertising.
Purpose marketing.
Purpose marketing.
Purpose.
Pedigree and Nexus Studios present Adoptable. Adoptable uses machine learning to transform a basic photo of a shelter dog into studio-quality photography. That shelter dog can then be inserted into any digital pedigree ad. Each ad directs people to a personalized landing page. Here, they can learn more about the dog they just saw. And when adopted, that dog is instantly dropped out of media rotation. Now, every pedigree campaign can feature an adoptable dog near you.
Adoptable uses an AI model that is trained to understand the exact visual composition and the nuance of the specific dog. Fur length, body shape, and color identity can all be customized to match the individual dog waiting in the shelter, right down to its unique markings. And because the rig is fully augmentable, the dog can be positioned to suit any media format.
But currently, 1 in 5 adopted dogs are returned to shelters. Using geographic data like proximity to parks and household sizes, Adoptable matches dogs to the locations that suit them best.
We're using really bleeding edge technology that's never been done before to help us as an activist brand really move our purpose forward.
Adoptable is transformational for us at Pedigree because it puts our purpose at the heart of everything that we do. Soon, every dollar we spend on media will not only help to bring our products to the world, it will help bring adoptable dogs to the world too.
Now this is, the one that I'm about to share with you is practically my most favorite use of AI in advertising to date. This was done 2 years ago by 3 agencies combined, AKQA being one of them, but there were a lot of other people and other parties and entities and universities and tech labs that were involved in the making of this. Are there any people in the audience who follow tennis? Great. No cricket and no tennis for most of you? Cool. Let's have a look. I would like you to pay special attention to this, unless there's an idea which is better and you can come up with it.
Serena Williams here.
I'm just so grateful because, yeah, you got me here.
On August 9th, 2022, Serena Williams announced her retirement. 2 days later, Nike released a year-long study, a showcase of what it takes to stay on top for over 2 decades, From fear, insecurity, nervousness, to power, experience, mental toughness. This is Never Done Evolving, featuring Serena Williams, an AI study in the form of avatars that reveals the evolution needed to become the greatest of all time. We analyzed all data and footage from official tournaments throughout Serena's career. Machine learning was able to model each era's playing style, decision-making, shot selection, reactivity, recovery, and agility, creating the most accurate and detailed visualization ever done with an athlete. The insights collected from Serena's Avatar's data are being used to improve techniques for young athletes and product technology. It's a first-of-its-kind approach in the sports industry. To make it accessible and inspiring to everyone in the world, we transformed this data into a live virtual match, starring 17-year-old Serena, the age she won her first Grand Slam, against 35-year-old Serena, the age she won her 23rd Grand Slam. The game was the result of more than 130,000 games generated using vid-to-player technique, developed by Stanford University. At every point won, Josh Appel showcases the study's main insights.
Well, you can just see the power on these serves from 2017 Serena Williams.
We're all extremely passionate about sport. When we look at the data we capture, there's beauty in that. The lines and curves, it's like a symphony.
The game broke all Nike's organic views records on YouTube and spread across mass media courts.
I mean, this level of excellence, it kept over so many decades, is just...
Yeah. I feel it's more of like an evolution of Serena.
Fun. And this is the last one, I think.
Like many people, I have memories that weren't captured.
Instax presents Mindography, the world's first printed memories.
Today we are really part of a cutting-edge experiment.
Formulated by leading neuroscientists, the Mindography experiment used fMRI brain scans and cutting-edge AI technology to print those memories directly from her mind. The first step was training the AI to understand Nicole's brain signals so it could recreate what she was seeing in her mind's eye.
We collected roughly 2,000 samples of brain activity while Nicole was seeing and imagining images. We feed those inputs into a machine learning algorithm to learn how to connect the brain activity to the images.
This meant Nicole's brain could speak directly to the AI. When she pictured something, the AI understood.
We scanned Nicole as she imagined, reflecting her core past personal memories, and ultimately output a visual reconstruction of what was being seen or imagined.
That let us print images directly from her memories.
This entire process of capturing my mind and my memories, it's wild.
Oh, that's my dad. I did not expect to feel emotional. I'm so overwhelmed but honored to have this.
The recreated memories were memorable.
Mindography.
Mindography Insta.
This is literally cutting-edge mind-reading research.
A lot of this not possible without AI. So while there are many examples and some of the best practices from around the world and some of the local work, which is our own work that I shared with you, this work would not have been possible. Whether that's the ROX example or the HBL PSL fan tunes example or the famous HBL ETH video. I mean, these things would not have been happening the way they are right now, and this is only a matter of time. The reason why I shared many global examples with you is because I want you to not just look around you or in your country. One of the things that the modern day world and technology has done is that it has blurred the lines of where we are from and where we are currently. I mean, one can be inspired from the many multiple wonderful examples that we've seen today. So my question to all of you young minds is, what emotion will you evoke using AI? Is there a particular emotion that you will sort of bring to life or make the other person feel something? One of the other reasons I ask you this question is because any piece of communication and art, the sole job is to do something to the viewer, to the person who's going to watch the film or look at the picture or look at the painting or hear a piece of music. The job is always to make them do have something happen to them in their mind or in their eyes or in their heart. Anything that you make, even if it's food, sometimes if it does nothing for the person you made it for, it's quite pointless. So the question really is, with AI, what emotion will you evoke and what story are you going to tell? And how will you let AI help you? I don't know, maybe the first row understands a T2 reference. I like this meme a lot. And also, last but not the least, you guys have been a wonderful audience, and with your main character, Energy, will you let AI be your sidekick? And that's my sidekick and I saying goodbye. Thank you very much for being a great audience. Thank you. There's no Q&A. Is there? Okay, cool. They just want to go. Guys, we're always looking for people who can collaborate with us, work with us, intern with us. So that's the address, and check out our website as well. Get in touch.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
It's not necessary. Yes.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
मैम, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसा आपने हमें जो चीज़ें दिखाई उससे मैंने ये सोचा है कि आप बताना चाह रही हैं कि AI इज़ द फ्यूचर।
नहीं, AI इज़ द प्रेजेंट।
AI इज़ द प्रेजेंट
जी।
तो मैम, जब अगर सब कुछ AI है तो जब हम लोग अपने असाइनमेंट्स में AI यूज़ करते हैं तो हमें 0 मार्क्स क्यों मिलते हैं? और
तो क्या होता है, मसला होता है, यू नॉट अलाउड टू। ओके।
और मैम, एक और क्वेश्चन ये था।
नहीं, पहला सवाल का जवाब देती हूँ। कौन से ईयर में हैं आप?
मैम सेकेंड ईयर में।
अभी 2 और साल हैं।
Yes.
उसके बाद कोई नहीं पूछेगा। It's just 2 years. You get out in the real world, you can do whatever you want. So the purpose really is, I'm not trying to tell you that it's the future. You have to let it assist you like a sidekick. And if you're getting caught in your assignments using AI, let me tell you, you're not using it smartly. So you're the one who has to be smarter. So one of the things that I do is that very rarely do I'm a writer and a thinker at heart, so I like writing. So when ChatGPT came, it was a lot of us writers, not formal writers per se, but I write like copywriting, etc. I felt threatened, right? Because I was like, okay, this can write faster than me, but can it write better than me? But it cannot feel the emotions and the stories and all the things but it's continuously learning from me, and I am teaching it also. So when I write something, I share with it, and it gives me an opinion. So it's very interactive, this whole process. I don't know if you've seen the Spike Jonze film called Her. Have you seen Her? That's a movie to check out. Is it Spike Jonze? Yeah. So, yeah, don't get caught, but use it, and use it to do something big. There's life beyond assignments. What are you going to do? You know, all of these things that I shared with you that brands are doing, there are thousands of examples of people doing big things. You will not even remember an assignment once you graduate. What's your second question?
मैम, सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये था कि आपको ये नहीं लगता कि हम जब इतना AI अपने काम में डाल देते हैं तो हम लोगों की जॉब्स भी ख़त्म कर देते हैं और दूसरा के रियलनेस ख़त्म हो जाती है। जैसे ये जो आपने चीज़ें दिखाई उसमें म्यूज़िक भी मुझे मतलब कि आप काम अच्छा है आपका, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि काम बुरा है, लेकिन मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा।
I take criticism for a living. It's okay. You can criticize. Go on.
मुझे देख के लगा था कि ये फेक है और इसमें रियलनेस नहीं है कोई।
हाँ।
तो उसको हम कैसे सही कर सकते हैं, मतलब कि या फिर हम AI को यूज़ कम करें। और मुझे लग रहा था, ऐसा लग रहा था कि हम लोग अपने काम से भाग रहे हैं AI को यूज़ करके।
सही है।
इतना AI यूज़ करके।
सवाल क्या?
सवाल यही है कि हम ये किस तरह सही करेंगे।
So, देखो, जब फूड प्रोसेसर्स नहीं होते थे आपकी नानी दादी के ज़माने में, तो वो इस्तेमाल करते थे सिलबट्टा। सिलबट्टा मालूम है क्या है? और फिर वो मोर्टार पेस्टल होता था, और फिर आए फूड प्रोसेसर्स, और फिर भी घर के कुछ ऐसे बड़े लोग थे जिनको वो सिलबट्टे का जायका पता था खाने में। जब खाना घर पे मेज़ पे सर्व किया जाता था, वो बता सकते थे कि ये फूड प्रोसेसर से बना है या सिलबट्टे पे बना है, और उनको वो पसंद था, तो वो उसके साथ रहे। और अब वो इस दुनिया में नहीं है, ऐसे लोग कम हैं। एंड फूड प्रोसेसर्स लिटरली टुक ओवर, राइट? There is no need to shun technology or be scared of it. AI is getting hyper real with time. You may not like the music it's producing today, but it's never going to be, it should. With that mindset, it's likely that you could be in competition with AI, and it would be stupid to compete with something like this. My last 2 slides spoke about AI being a sidekick. There were 2 questions that I asked you. How will you use it to tell your story better? It's not you versus AI, it's you powered by AI, and you can do things which were not humanly possible. For example, you can write a biography for people with Alzheimer's, or you can end homelessness for dogs. Those are purposes. I'm talking about bigger things. Will it make jobs obsolete? So when digital cameras came, people who worked for Fuji Films or Kodak, they felt threatened. They had a choice. They could have caught on and run with the new technology, or they could sit back and scared and be sulking कि हमारी मशीनें और हमारी लैब्स और हमारी फिल्म और हमारे SLR का क्या होगा। So जिन्होंने वो सोचा वो थोड़ा सा रुक गए, और जिन्होंने वक्त के साथ साथ बढ़े और सीखा और डरे नहीं और ओवरली क्रिटिकल नहीं हुए, उन्होंने फूड प्रोसेसर भी अपनाया, उन्होंने DSLR भी अपनाया और GoPro भी अपनाया, और अब फिल्म जो है वो बहुत ख़ास उसके भी अप्रिशिएट करने वाले हैं. इट्स बिकम अ वेरी स्पेशल थिंग, जस्ट लाइक LPs are making a comeback. I don't even know if you know what an LP is. Maybe you listen to music on Spotify. But there are people who appreciate it. It's great to appreciate it, but that should never hold you back. And no, it will only make the work of humans obsolete if they don't use it to their advantage. Does that answer your question? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Miss.
Hi.
I just want to ask that, like, AI is being exceeding a lot. Like, it's not good that it can invade our privacy. That, for example, in pharmaceutical agencies where some chips are being made in order to see if people will actually discover any disease or any health issues. So why can we, how can we stop it from breaching the privacy of any individual?
Privacy breach? That's your question? And AI privacy breach? So it was a concern before AI also, with social media, with tech, your WhatsApp windows. When you WhatsApp someone, it says encrypted, not encrypted. There are millions of things, terms and conditions, and cookies that we accept on a daily basis. So those are real concerns. Does AI make it worse? So I'll be very honest, I'm not an expert, but yes, with time it's becoming increasingly difficult. And but one of my apprehensions, though I don't have the answer to your question and maybe I'm not the right person to answer it, is that a lot of times we are giving AI a lot of our lives. We're handing it over. So you will remember there was this trend not too long ago on Insta, which was share yourself 10 years from now. And millions of people around the world, without anybody exactly asking them, put their pictures from 2015 and fed it and gave it the information. Now it knows what you look like, what friends you had, where you had traveled to, who was in that picture with you. So there is a little bit of responsibility that we as human beings also need to practice. That is the responsibility I can talk about. The technical terms of privacy and data breach, just don't be a party to it. Yes, we are vulnerable more than ever.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for being a lovely audience.
Thank you, Ms. Sara, for that eye-opening session. You truly given us a fresh lens on storytelling in today's world. I would like to invite Mr. Zohaib from DHA City Marketing, Sir Saklan Zaidi, and Dr. Fatma to present a token of appreciation to Ms. Sara Mkim. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a namaz break now. We will see you again at 2:30 p.m. for the Steadicam workshop. Thank you.